One. All right, Jayne, we're back at it for the Sisterhood. Tell us your story, Pilot 5.0. So how was your week?
Um, it was good. It was just busy. Like we had Olivia's first college tour this week. I took her and her friend Jada to see the local college here, the Georgia Gwinnett, and then next week we're going
Nice.
to see Kennesaw State. And then early November, we're going to see Georgia Southern, which is down in Statesboro. So that's like about a 3.5 hour drive.
Oh,
Um,
awesome.
those are the three she wanted to see before she makes her decision. And we'll see, how that goes. But then I also had like a Zoom training at nighttime, 2 nights about the FAFSA. And I might be saying
Yeah.
that wrong. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, that
Yeah.
college form you have to fill out for college to see if you get any
Aid.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then we had our podcast one that we did one night. So I just feel like
yeah.
every day and night this week I was just busy. So I
Yeah.
missed 2 workouts, which sucked, but I just was not feeling great and I was exhausted. But I got back at it today, so I'm proud of myself. Yeah, so overall it was a pretty good week, but I did want to tell you that last night I didn't get done working till like about 7:30, and I realized I hadn't eaten anything since maybe 10 a.m. And I
Yeah.
worked from Fridays. And so I had said to mom had said she wanted an ice cream. And I said, well, I'll take you to get your ice cream and I can grab like a sandwich or something at Jimmy John's, like, just something that I can eat that's not
Yeah.
because it's late. And so she was like, okay. So we get out in the garage. I open the garage door and I'm standing there and I'm yelling to the dog, like, come on, Bentley, come on, Bentley. And he's like waiting for Graham to get all the way up the stairs. I'm trying to get out there in advance, get us ready. So when she gets out there, I can help her get in the car and then we're out.
Uh-huh.
Won't come until she gets all the way up the stairs. He's waiting for her to make sure she makes it
Yeah.
up. And then he
Yeah.
comes, and as he's coming around, I hear somebody talking outside. And so I'm down low ready in case he runs to grab him because he's not on a
Yeah.
leash or anything. And so when he comes out, I grab him and I pick him up and I hear my neighbor across the street, Marcus, go, hey Jayne, like real soft it sounded to me because, if you ever want to be humbled, be in your 40s because you become deaf and blind. I can't see shit. I
Yeah.
can't hear shit. I don't
Exactly.
understand.
Literally, second
So
turn 40.
he's in his 30s, so he doesn't know my pain. And so he's like
Yeah.
very gently saying like, Jayne, can you do me a favor and go back in the house? And I'm like, what? And so then I hear him say,
Why am I scared? Why am I scared?
well, you should be, because they have a
Okay.
huge dog who apparently got out without his leash. His name's Cash, and he's a year plus older than Bentley.
A
But
mastiff,
he's
right?
yeah, he makes Boise look tiny. And so
Yeah.
he has gotten out and Marcus is trying to get him. And I look in my front garden bed with the tree and the
Yeah.
rose, like the rose bushes all around it. And I'm like, why is there a Yeti in my garden bed? And so
Yeah.
it was actually Cash. And so
Oh my
mom's
God.
trying to quickly get in the
But
car.
yeah, you didn't mean the brand. You meant the Sasquatch?
I'm not a Bigfoot. I was like, what the hell is that Yeti doing in my front yard? So, because it was dark. I mean, it was like, so mom's trying to get in the car fast, which, as you can imagine, did not go well. And so I'm trying to help her because I'm like,
Love you,
get in the
Mom.
car. And so then I can't get into the house because she's got the door open and she's trying to get in the car and I don't want to shove her in. And so
Yeah.
then I'm holding Bentley, who decides now's the time to growl. I'm like, are we
Oh,
all
shit.
trying to die? Do you not see the Yeti out there? And so
Oh.
then I pull the back door open to like shield me from said Sasquatch. And
Yeah.
so mom finally gets in the car. I close the door and then I hear Marcus because I think Bentley's growl might have actually scared Cash. And so
Oh, shit.
Cash walks gently across the street back to his owner. And Marcus is like, don't worry, Jayne, I've got him. I've got him. And I'm like, okay, thank you. Have a good night. And I put Bentley in the car and I get in the car. And mom's like hyperventilating, laughing so hard at the
Aw.
experience we just had trying to get her in the
She
car
was
and also
traumatized.
me not be killed by Bigfoot himself. And so it was
Yeah.
just a whole thing. But we did have a good
Dang.
time. And then we went and got her, got some ice cream and I got my sandwich. And then by the time I got home, I was too full to eat very much of it, but still I had it. And
Yeah, but still, hey.
I was ready for
Awesome.
bed. I was so exhausted. So did some stuff and then went to bed and got up, started another day. So it was a bit of a
Nice.
crazy week, but it was a good week. How was yours?
We had a pretty busy week at House of Boo. So Blaine had a game Thursday night. Oh, by the way, in the last 2 weeks, I've not been able to put words together. I have no idea why, but that was an example.
I'm so glad we're doing a podcast.
Happening to me all the time. I just roll with it. Sometimes I'm making up new words and they actually sound better. But no, we went to Blaine Train's game and I know he's my kid, so obviously I think he's special, but there is something so magical about this boy. Like, he brings so much sunshine to every situation he encounters, and
he does.
He's competitive. So he's out on the field. The things that I was so proud of is, like, another kid from the other team falls down. He's the first one in, pulling him up and, like, giving him the pat on the back. He's chit-chatting with the refs. He had to explain to his coach that his coach got kicked out of the game. And he's, like, coaching his coach through the process. It was adorable. But it's just, I love Blaine Train. He's just amazing. So that was fun.
And he was little, though. Since he was little, haven't we been saying he's like the mayor? Like, he's just such a
mayor of Goose Creek. Exactly.
They're just kissing babies and shaking hands and just, you know, keeping all things right in the world.
You can't not get a good vibe from him. He's a vibe. So that was a lot of fun. And then, oh my God, I did a couple. We will talk about the podcast 101 that we sat on later on in this episode, but we had that going on yesterday. Jeff and I, once we finished work, we had a fire pit because it's that time of year.
Yeah,
we had some bourbon because it's that time of year, and we were just chilling around the fire pit. And Bronx, you know, my baby cat that I found during COVID, with my Dr. Dre Beats in it. Like, I was running in the middle of the road because you weren't allowed to be outside. Like, you could be outside, but you couldn't be around neighbors. It was that part of COVID. Yeah. And so I was running in the middle of the road on my lunch break, and I heard a cat through my headphones. I'm like, and I'm like, what is that? Actually, now that I think about it, I think the universe let me hear that. But anyway, so I take out the headphones. The neighbors are on the porch, and they're telling me there's a kitten under this truck the truck hasn't moved in a couple of years, and the kitten's been under there for 3 days and hasn't eaten and won't eat and won't let anyone touch her. So I'm like, all right, let me go get my boys. So I ran back home and got the boys, came back with a can of soft cat food, and Brody was the one that actually got her to come out, and he held her immediately, and they bonded immediately. And anyways, I'll go into that story another day. But Bronx, that one, she's like the queen of our house now, and she is the only other queen bee outlet in this house. I mean, obviously, Boise is clearly the queenest bee of all bees in this house, as you've seen me give her 15 bones this morning. But So Bronx is a master hunter, but she hunts to bring you gifts, not to actually eat the critter or whatever it is she's hunting. And I'm like, Jeff keeps saying, cat's got a cat. And I'm like, yes, I get it. Cat's got a cat. But, like, if we're out there and she's torturing another animal, I just can't let the cat. I'm going to have to get involved. So yesterday she got a little tiny bird. It was maybe this big, like this big. And the thing was, she just kept putting it in her mouth and then letting it go and then batting it down. And so first Jeff was sent over to handle it, because we also had to keep the dogs calm, because they were sitting by us near the fire, and if any one of us reacted too hard, then they would have jumped up, and Bronx would have been chased, and the bird definitely wouldn't have survived. So Jeff did the tiptoe thing, but he came back, sans bird. And I'm like, where's the bird? And he's like, it's over there. So what's Bronx doing? She's back freaking patting the bird down. So I did have to get up and go over. And I find this poor little bird. It's terrified, but it's still alive. And it did probably maybe have a puncture wound, but I couldn't find it. So anyways, pick up the bird. The bird flies at first, so it could still fly, but it can't get height. And it flew right to where Bronx is going to go right back for it. So I'm like, bird, honey, I'm going to have to pick you up. And I know this is uncomfortable for you. It's uncomfortable for me too, but I'm going to do it. So I gently picked him up. I had my jean jacket on, and I set him right here and held my hand like this with the jacket over it. And I just kept telling him, I think it was a him, but I just kept saying, I know you're scared. I need you to calm down, try to get your bearings, and you can fly away when you're ready. And so I was humming. We were listening to camp anyways. And I could feel the bird. Literally, I could feel it calm down. And it literally felt like I actually had to look because I was worried its heart stopped. But it really just calmed down. And then about 20 minutes later, I felt it kind of starting to vibe up again. So I thought, okay, it's going to try to fly. So I kind of held my coat open and was like, when you're ready, bud, just go. And so all of a sudden he took off, but he didn't make it far. He only made it to the orange tree and he was still on the ground. And I was like, darn it. So I had to go back over. But as soon as I went over and I kind of went near him to touch him, he picked back up and flew. So I think he got out of the yard. I think he got over the fence because he was also brown and there's so many leaves. I tried to look for him, just to make sure, and I didn't find evidence of it. But so long story short, another encounter where I swear to God, I feel like Snow White with gray hair. Like, I don't understand what's happening, but I really think I am one with animals. Oh, I forgot to tell you this too. We had a nest of squirrels. So now we have like 3 squirrels running around, in which I've named Habib, Scooter, and Gemma. And I feel like every morning now we're out there, they're like chit-chatting with me. Have you ever heard of the noise of a squirrel? It's like,
yeah.
Have you ever heard it?
Yeah.
Or noticed it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I feel like now in the mornings when I go outside, I'm chit-chatting with squirrels. I'm clearly nuts.
Wow.
But I'm embracing it. And then the last thing that I thought was fun for this week that I did. So this morning, we've been taking Boise for rides because, as you could see from the videos, when we take her for walks, it's uncomfortable. But she has to get her exercise. But we've been finding we go out and walk the yard, she walks the yard with us.
Okay.
When we go out to walk and we have her leash on her, which she's excited to get on, but she makes it to the middle of the driveway and she's like, all right, Mom, let's go back in. And so we're like, we can't not have her morning experience. And the girls love the ride. So we just take them across the way, go back through the back of that neighborhood and back over. It takes like 15 minutes. She is smiling and happy.
Okay.
We get back, Jeff walks Bloom. I take Boise into the garage. We sit in the garage and wait for them to come back. Well, This morning I was like, you know what? I'm going to surprise Jeff because he makes me breakfast every morning. And it's like this delicious grain, 9 toast grain or something like that, bread, 1 piece, and then 2 fried eggs and an avocado. He doesn't eat the avocado, but he eats everything else. So I made my first. They didn't overcook. They didn't undercook. The white was all beautifully white. He likes his cooked a little more. I like to dip my bread in the yolk. Yeah. Mine were perfect and his were perfect. And I did it.
Nice, Johnny.
Who am I?
Right.
Who am I?
Who
I know,
are you,
amazing.
Snow White?
Who
that's
are you? Yeah, that's who I am.
So let me tell you this, though, because this is what made me think of it. Because clearly you are Snow White. But do you remember when Tiff got us box tickets through her work and we went and saw Disney on Ice?
Oh my God, with Blaine and Haley and Olivia.
Yeah. And so Olivia was Belle Bride because she had like a bride Halloween dress that we put like a yellow ribbon around. She wanted to be Belle Bride and a tiara and everything. Blaine was Dopey, which
I made that outfit out of my freaking closet.
I know, it was spot on. Who was Haley? Was she Cinderella? I'm trying to remember in the pictures.
I can't remember. I can't remember what she was, but she was cute.
She was either Cinderella or I think she might have been Cinderella. No, Kim was Cinderella. Kim was adult Cinderella with a very short Cinderella skirt, remember? But she looked amazing.
She wore that well, though. Let me just tell you.
Did. She looked amazing. Kim was fantasy Cinderella. And then I cannot remember. No, Haley was the same one that she came to me and Vic's Halloween birthday party as, right? And she wore the wig for a minute, but not her.
Oh, Mal. Mal?
Was that?
Wait, was it Mal?
No, it wasn't Mal from Maleficent's daughter. It was Haley's gonna be so mad that I forgot this. And to be fair, I can't really remember all the princesses anymore because it's been such a long time. But I'm gonna correct this next week when I remember who it is, and then also I'm gonna show a picture because Haley looks so damn cute. But anyhow, so we went there, and on the way there, you were dressed up as Snow White, which you also made from your closet. Because who does not have a navy blue / gold attire to wear to be Snow White? But while we were driving there, I don't know if you remember this, but there was teenagers in the car next to us, and they were just like driving erratically and being crazy, and cutting in front of us and stuff. And I remember you went full psycho on them. And I said, and I quote, "Patience, princess." Because I was like, that kid will never speed and cut someone off again because he just got bawled out by Snow White, who cussed him out. And also, who expects a fucking Disney princess to come up next to you and cuss you out for driving like a douche?
Driving under control. Or get off the road.
I don't disagree.
But listen, I'm terrified to cuss people out now about driving. Like, if they're driving erratically, I'm just calling 911. I'm not getting involved because crazy shit happens. All right, Jayne, random question generator for this week.
Okay.
When are you most productive?
Okay. So I'm twice a day because I always get a second wind. First thing in the morning, I'm hella productive. Like this morning before I worked out, I dusted my whole first floor and started my vacuuming for the day.
Nice.
So I'm really good about getting on stuff like that early. And then I find it, as long as I don't sit down, once I sit down, then I have a hard time. I gotta like really make myself get back up. So I try to just jump right in. And then I also get a second wind like lately during the day.
3, 4.
Yeah, 3, 4 o'clock. No, 2 to 3:30. I'm like fighting to stay awake.
Yeah.
But then in the evening time, I get a second wind. And so all of a sudden I'm like, you know what I should do right now? Paint some furniture. And so then I'll be up until 1 a.m. painting furniture because I had that like window of time where I had to rest during the day and I felt like I wasted some time there. So I better knock this out now. And then it always takes longer than I think it's gonna. And then before you know it, I'm up in the garage till 2 a.m. painting a dresser or something stupid. So I would say both.
The fact that you can stay up till 2 a.m. is very impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I feel it the next day when I need a 2 p.m. nap, but anyhow.
Yeah, true. For me, it's early. If I have to I do have the second wind situation occur, and it's usually between 3 or 4. But early mornings for me, like alarm goes off at 4:30. Usually I'm already up. The mighty Jenny would get right up. There are days that Jenny's like, but every time I do that, I regret it. If I just get right up, it takes me about 30 minutes to get the juices flowing, but I'm a forking machine. Literally in those, my brain is beyond alert. It's been solving shit in my sleep. It happens all the time. And I wake up and I'm like a brand new person. And so for me, it's definitely early mornings. I love getting all my shit that I know needs to get done. Like work out, put my clothes away if any clothes were washed the day before. Do all my little things I do, like dip my face in freezing cold water. Me and Jeff make this like ice bath every day that we dip our faces in, which by the way, it's freaking amazing. And it feels like it's burning. I dip my face 3 times. The first time I try to go as long as I can. And it's almost like it doesn't even feel cold, but it's cold. The second time I go in, I can start to feel the burn coming forward. The third time I go in, it burns, but it's freezing. And so it's getting all those. I think what it really does is opens your blood vessels, which is, essential. So anyway, long story short, early mornings are my jam. Okay. Have you had any conversations or information that have made you think this week? And where it might have made you question or change an opinion, but not even necessarily just that, just in general, any interesting conversations?
Yeah. I had to do a call with a psychiatrist at one of the bases that we have a psychiatry contract with. And it was like, I don't know, just listening to him talk makes me miss working in mental health so much. And the sort of the drive of it, the passion for it, the support, the advocacy, like all of that stuff. And so I don't think it just made me realize how much I miss that field. And so, and it was like heartbreaking, when you're talking about active duty members, obviously no HIPAA stuff was discussed, no names, no be kind. But when you're talking about,
you sound kind of quiet, Jayne. You might want to pick up your, but carry on.
When you're talking about active duty members being suicidal, it was just super sad. And there's just, and listening to a psychiatrist who's so passionate about the work that he does was just really nice. And
hopeful,
but also sad. And yeah, it's just a lot. But
Yeah.
so I think that was just a really good conversation. And he was saying at the end, like, I could talk about this all day, Jayne, because, I could go on for days. And I was like, I could listen for days, and so
Yeah.
um, it was just a really good conversation. So I liked that. And I think yesterday that I had that conversation yesterday because we were talking to him about recruiting for another psychiatrist and wanted to get like a day in the life sort of picture. And then
Yeah.
I had another situation come up yesterday with another doctor that I work with on a different contract, and it just wasn't going well for him, and it wasn't his fault. And I just felt so bad. And I just feel like it was like it wasn't a super positive day because I felt really overwhelmed by the fact that I couldn't do more than what I was doing, and it wasn't
Yeah.
solving problems. And then I got on the phone with my boss, and she told me I had to give more bad news. And I was like, look, if you want me to cry, have me make that call because
Yeah.
I'm here. I have
Yeah.
nothing. I can't do
Aw.
any more bad news today, and I
Yeah.
can't do any more bad stuff today. So I'll do it, but just know there will be tears shed by me.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I welled up twice just talking to him the last time, and I just
Did you
and
have to
so
do it?
no, she did. She was like, and I think she would take a softer approach, just knowing that the state everything was in, and without talking about any details. But
Yeah.
it was a good conversation, and I felt heard, and I appreciated that because it's not the jobs are sometimes hard, and you have to do things that are hard, and I do it all the time. But
Yep.
some days you just get to your point where you're like, I can't take anymore.
Hey, I
So
think, especially in light of mental health, asking for help or
yeah,
asking for support is essential for life to
yeah,
be lived the way it should.
exactly,
Because, yeah. So, and I love the tag team effort with,
yeah,
your boss or whoever you're tag teaming with. I love that.
yeah,
Um, so I've been on this kick about thinking about like how to trick my mind into really loving. Okay, what I've realized, and a lot of this had to do with Peloton and just it's so uplifting, literally, and it really does make you think, and it's my kind of people, honestly. I love
right,
all the instructors. But talking about like practicing through Peloton, like bike rides or whatever you're doing, hard workouts.
yeah,
But it's to prepare you for hard situations in life too, not just a workout, but just like any situation you could be going through. And what I've realized is how I tricked my brain into loving hard workouts is understanding how I feel after it's done and
yeah,
knowing it was hard. And if I take an easy route, I don't have the same type of endorphins after the fact. I still feel good that I did something because sometimes
yeah,
easy's okay. But like when I go hard, I'm freaking proud of myself after. I feel like I've accomplished something. I feel like on top of the world. And so if I think that way about my workouts, why am I not equating that to just any scenario? And
right,
so I had a breakthrough this week and I've been thinking, okay, you know what, Jenny? You're going to do the same thing you do with your workouts, but now with other situations where something presents as a challenge where you might feel terrified because you have no solution. You don't know what you're going to do. You don't know how to solve for it. And this isn't just work, this is anywhere.
yeah,
But instead, how about, okay, Jenny, you freaking dominate at challenges. You always come up with a solution, not just you, but you and all the people that you are working with in any situation I happen to be in. And
yeah,
so change the mindset and be focused more on the fact that you actually love the challenge. Quit denying it. That's
yeah,
your jam.
yeah,
Because although the easy part after you get through the challenge, like the end result or the conclusion, or, now you've gotten through that. So now you're kind of smooth sailing for whatever it is that you're doing from here on out. I am not satisfied with that. I'm going to go look for the next challenge. So
yeah,
I know that about myself, but yet I'm not using what I know about myself to help myself get through these things. Like instead I'm falling behind fear and I'm feeling so scared that I'm almost like paralyzed in fear instead of just stepping through it. So
yeah,
anyways, that is something that I feel like I really, really walked away this week with understanding. And part of it was because remember how last week I told you I was going to pay attention to when I feel like my mindset shifts to scarcity instead of abundance.
yeah,
In every scenario I felt that creeping up in, it was something I hadn't done before or something I'm not an expert in or something that was very uncomfortable because it's unknown. And it was fear. It was fear based. And as soon as I accepted the fact that that's what it wasn't so scary after all. It literally, and all of it was doable. It's just a matter of, so take that part out because that energy is not helpful, you know?
Right. Yeah. I think when you were saying that, I thought about, somebody that a long time ago said to me about exercising specifically, but you can use this in other scenarios, which is similar to what you were just talking about. He said, I'm never sorry when I did it. I'm always sorry when I didn't.
When I didn't.
Yeah. And I was like, huh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that tracks. Yeah.
It's never a regret to work out. It's never a regret to get through the hard thing when you're reflecting on it.
Right.
Ooh, you know what that reminds me? I think it was this chick, Emma, that I know, also through Peloton, but she brought up type B versus type A, not personality, but kind of like that. But it's like type B, fun. Okay, well, how did she phrase it? Basically, she went through something hard and couldn't realize and enjoy the fun until after she got through it. So she was kind of calling it type B instead of enjoying the whole ride.
Right.
And, and realizing that I can't remember how the type came into play there, but it aligned with this conversation in that she started paying attention to, like, instead of only being able to enjoy it after the experience, opening her eyes to being able to enjoy it during the experience. And even if there are tears, even if it's so freaking hard in that part of the process, you need to release with emotion, fork it. Release with emotion. That's just part of the process. Go for it, So, all right. So that was my conversation and or information I had this week that I found was interesting. But I also thought we should talk about the fact that we did actually get on was it a podcast? It wasn't a podcast. It was a learning session, like a podcaster 101.
Yeah, like a training.
Yeah. What was her name? Jenna Cush? Something like that.
I can't remember.
I can't either. But she has a very successful podcast, and it's tied to business.
Yeah.
And so her one-on-one was basically walking a person that's considering doing podcasting through the steps and kind of talking about the things like, don't let perfection get in the way of starting and things of that nature.
Yep.
Jayne, I feel like we should be proud to report that. Now, I'm not saying we didn't learn anything, but every freaking thing she brought up, we'd already been doing.
Yeah.
Including using the better of the apps, Riverside, to do our thing.
Yeah. When she said that, I remember texting you and saying, way to find one of the top 2 apps, Jen, because I had no idea.
That's right. Listen, some of these I just kept going. I don't know if it's the perfect thing, but I was like, we got to start somewhere. Yeah. And this is not going to be perfect. Like, for example, we're not editing episodes yet. I still haven't figured that out. All the situations are in my name, so it's not like you're just logging into my shit because, we don't do that.
Yeah. Right.
And so it's like, I've got to figure it out at some point, but I'm also like, I kind of like the rugged, organic, raw, real.
Yeah.
You can drop an F-bomb and be pissed that your kid called your phone, even though you love your kid and all he was doing was buying you a sweatshirt because he's a sweet boy. And then apologize after the fact because that shit just really happened. And it is what it is.
Or you can not know how to say pool boy. I mean, it happens.
Exactly. Jayne didn't get to leave her joke. And because it's a freaking funny ass joke.
The rage in my heart when I was talking about it allowed me to not find the word to say.
Exactly. Go ahead and land that joke because it's hilarious.
I can't now.
Okay. Not under. You get a second chance.
Yeah. Someday we're going to look back at these and laugh.
We get second chances.
Edit out those moments.
Yeah, exactly. But I also kind of love that we're leaving this like little bit of a legacy. Like our kids could watch these in the future and see our chemistry. Our grandkids could watch this in the future and see our chemistry. And I also love the fact that we get this opportunity. I feel like we have a beautiful sisterhood and it should be shared with the world because I think you just get lucky when you get to have, hopefully most people really do enjoy their siblings. And I freaking love our brother Vic and obviously our sister Alexis.
Yeah.
There's just something about being 15 months apart and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
doing everything together from literally diapers. It hits different.
Like we're twins, but not. Yeah.
Exactly.
And also,
exactly.
can we talk about why at 45 years old I still can't wink? I don't know why. When you winked at me and I tried back, I was like, that was sad. I looked like somebody hit me and I was trying to move.
You know what? I can't tell because when we're recording,
We're
you
so
look blurry.
blurry.
But when we get
Yeah.
on the actual video, we're clear as shit.
Yeah. Do you know
So-
when you started today, the first time I noticed this at the top of your video, it says video will be clearer when downloaded. I was like, how?
Why don't I see that on yours? I do not see that.
It doesn't say
Yeah.
it now. It said it when it first went to 1 and then we started, it said it across the top of your screen, the very top. And I was like, oh, look at that. We just talked about that. Also,
yeah. See, things are so like user friendly to figure out nowadays. You just do it. Go ahead.
Yeah. And sometimes you just don't see the sign that's right in front of you. I mean, sometimes you have to be on episode 5 for that. But I was going to say back to earlier, because I can't let this go in my heart. I'm pretty sure Haley was Elsa.
Who was she?
Was she Elsa?
Oh,
I feel like
actually, yes.
And that's why I was thinking Cinderella. But I'm pretty sure she was Elsa.
She was Elsie. She was Elsa. You're right.
Yeah,
Ooh, is that Kristen Bell?
No, that's the Broadway chick. She used to be married to Tay Diggs.
Kristen Bell's the other one?
She's Anna. Yeah.
Oh, Anna. Okay, yeah. Haley was Elsa. Okay. Jayne.
Ooh, we can put that behind us.
Not sure if you can see my Eras jumpsuit behind me.
I can.
It is Taylor Swift song focused lyrics time.
Yay.
Yay. Okay. This week we chose Invisible String, which is off the Folklore album, which happens to be my favorite album, and not just mine, also my husband's. It came out during COVID. We sat at the hot tub. I think I told people this before, but we sat in the hot tub every morning at like 4:30 in the morning, blasting Folklore. And he knows every word to every song on that album, and that brought him into Taylor Swift. And then that actually got me back into Taylor Swift. And then after that, I was hooked.
Yeah.
My favorite part of the song, Jayne. Hang on, let me turn my mic on. Oh, please don't be dead. Nope.
Oh. Jen, we can hear you without the mic.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that?
Yes, it's an echo.
That means someone touched my microphone again. These freaking kids. Okay. Favorite part. Time, mystical time, cutting me open, then healing me fine with the clues I didn't see. And isn't it just so pretty to think all along there was some invisible string tying you to me. So that song,
yes,
all I can think of, Jeff.
Yeah.
And all I can think of is the fact that he almost went to Bowling Green instead of UMass Lowell. And all I can think of is that there was a time in my life that I would have thought, oh my God, we wouldn't have met.
Yeah.
But now I know different. And I believe we have this invisible string. And no matter where he would have went, we would have ended up finding each other because, hey, look at our babies. They're beautiful.
Right.
And B, I just feel like we really do complement each other in so many great ways. And he brings out the best in me. Yeah. So anyway, that's my favorite song. It's a tribute to him. How about you, Jayne?
I think the invisible string made him go to UMass Lowell so that you guys could meet.
Oh.
Yeah. I think he had other options and the string is what pulled him there. But anyhow, I think that I actually really love that song too. And the parts that I liked that she made 3 lines where she speaks about time. And I wrote them down because I can't remember them. And it's the one you just said, the time, mystical time, cutting me open, then healing me fine. And then she says, time, wondrous time, gave me the blues, and then purple pink skies.
Woo!
And then she says, and then she says, time, curious time, gave me no compass, gave me no signs. And so I just love the way that she talked about time and how it changes things, it heals things, it leads you to things, it like all the different things. It shows you ugly, then it shows you beautiful. Like it just, time is pretty magical. And so I just thought that was a really cool, I just think she's so poetic in the way that she writes. And so when you can
Really?
pull out like that out of her songs, she really is like, she's not just writing feelings, like she's actually giving very deep concepts if you really think about what
Yeah,
she's writing. So I really
exactly.
love that.
She's been doing that pretty
Yeah.
much her whole life. So she was
Yeah.
born with this gift, but she
Yeah.
also works her ass off to enhance her gift. But
For sure.
literally, I feel like she's related to Emily Dickinson, who was a famous poet, and
Yeah.
she's got some,
Yeah. She
masterminds in her family.
Yeah, she definitely is incredibly gifted. That's why
Yeah,
I get so frustrated when I feel like people reduce her to breakup songs and I'm like, you're
yeah,
so missing all the point. It's like you're in an art museum and you're just seeing like a shape, but you're missing the whole all of it. All that's
abstract.
behind
Yeah,
that, the depth of fields, the abstract, the lines, the shape. Like you're missing so much if that's all you can see. And so I feel like that's sometimes how people she has a huge fan base, don't get me wrong. She doesn't need
yeah.
more fans.
So the majority
But
can see it.
for
Hey,
the
I feel
people who
bad for the
don't
ones
see
that
it,
can't.
I feel like they're missing out because
I feel like
there's
it's
really
out
some
too.
yeah.
But you know
The other
what?
thing I wanted to say was she does
Yeah.
say one thing in that song too that I think resonates with me just based on my last year or couple. And she says, hell was the journey, but it brought me heaven. And so like, okay, we've been through the first part. Maybe now we make our transition into the heaven
And
part.
well, Jayne, I don't know if you've noticed all the TikToks I've been sending you lately about
I
my
have.
fortune tellers and my card readers, but I keep getting your reads, and I know it's for you because there's dragonflies everywhere. And
Yeah.
I think one of the numbers was 1013, which is your birthday, and then a
Yeah.
dragonfly picture.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this message was about
Dragonfly.
just being able to your dragonfly sleeve.
Yeah.
I love that. Hang on, let me
My
show
dragonfly
Wait, there you
slash
go. There you go.
tarantula.
Look at my Ellen Louise hummingbird and my sister
That's
heart.
right. Yeah.
I
Yeah, your
can't wait till Jayne, when we get our sisterhood merch together,
Yeah.
I
We'll do a
totally
cartoon.
want to have this and that what Sophia drew us
Yeah.
into, like, you know the fox that you used to get on those cute little shirts with the collars? It was like a little orange fox. I want that type of shirt, but with our dragonfly heart
Yeah.
hummingbird.
Yeah.
I think that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
All right. What else are you listening to or watching this week?
Let me think. If I actually sit down to watch something, I usually am multitasking and doing other things. And so I feel like I have all these shows on my list that I want to see, but I don't feel like I have the focus to actually watch them right now. So I've been putting on like old favorites. So like The Closer, I love that one.
Oh, I love
there's like
7 seasons. I love her.
Yeah, there's a million episodes and I just love her and I love that show and I love her team. What's the other one I've been watching? Mindhunter on Netflix, like that. I so wish they would do a third season of that. I know they're saying they're not gonna because it was too expensive and too hard, but it's such a good show. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it.
It's a really good show. That's a show I can watch over and over and still learn something new.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, if you were an NCIS fan, was it Gibbs? Yeah. They came out with where Gibbs was younger and it tells the story of Gibbs' life. And did you know, I never knew this, but Gibbs, his wife and daughter in the show were murdered. And so
I did know that.
This new show goes back to right after that happened, and he is coping with such major loss, and he's gone back into the field. Yeah. It's only 2 episodes, I think, that's aired so far, but we watched that this week, and I actually really enjoyed it. And then I think it's called High Intelligence or High IQ or something. It's a show about this lady. She was a cleaning lady cleaning police station.
I've seen the previews. Yeah.
Jayne, it's so good. I told Jeff, we've gotten so spoiled with being able to watch an entire season in a day that when we're forced now to wait every week, I'm like, I'd almost rather wait till it comes out for a full season and I binge watch it versus
that's what I do. Yeah.
Preferred style. But now that I'm in, I can't get out of this. So
my apologies. I just have to say really quick, the leaves are starting to drop here, so it's allergy season, which is 9/10 of the year for me. But these are my tissues, but it is allergy season for me.
You poor girl. You poor girl. I think Blaine's taking after you because he's just constantly got, and it gives them a sore throat, runny nose, and itchy ears.
Yeah. And it also like gives me a tension headache under my eyes.
Oh, Jayne, that sucks.
Yeah. So,
All right, Jayne. What's a
yeah.
promise you're going to make and keep to yourself this week? It can be ongoing. There are really no rules, but
I'll just update on my current promises to myself, which is to try to give myself grace. I'm trying really hard to do that. I skipped 2 workouts this week because I just did not feel well and was just really exhausted. And so
you pick self-care.
I feel bad about that, but then I did get back on this morning, even though I was late to the podcast because of it. And I'm sorry. And I appreciate your grace for me on that.
Don't be sorry. I was already late.
Some mornings I really
we have no time constraints. But these are our rules. There is no start time. We get to make our own freaking rules.
Right. Time wondrous time, right? That's what we're doing,
yes.
Taylor Swift, if you ever hear this, we love you.
Yes. Yeah. Taylor Swift, I know there's going to be a point in my life that my name comes out of your lips. And I feel like it could happen on 11/14 while I'm in Toronto because this freaking smoke show of a jumpsuit behind me will draw attention. And I told Sophia, every freaking compliment I get, I'm taking a selfie with that person to send it to Sophia because she was the mastermind behind it.
Yes. Also a Taylor song.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, I did knock out my 3 days of yoga. I got that in. I was very disciplined with my workouts, but last week I took 2 days off, and usually I may take 1 or not. I took 2, but last week on the 2nd day I took off, I was in charge of doing some excess painting, not the artistic stuff, just like the background stuff. So that Sophia, when she got here, wouldn't have to do that and wait for it to dry. So I actually got my creativity on and it felt really good. And I accepted the fact that I was going to take 2 days off so that I wouldn't stress over it, which is something I'm going to suggest to you. Like, we let that shit go and it's behind us. And then we just try harder. We try to do better the next week. But really, what's 2 days? Nothing.
Right.
Because we're disciplined and discipline is freedom.
I did do an extra cycle this morning, so now it's only like I missed 1 1/2 days.
See? Exactly. That was like the day.
Cycles, but today I did 3.
There you go. So I feel like that does make up for it. And honestly, I did the same thing because last Sunday I skipped, so I did 75 minutes on Monday. Ooh, in one of my rides, I did my own playlist, and I freaking slayed what I would normally do. 61 minutes I did. And
nice.
Like, I really do like having the coaches, and I feel like they keep you, on point, and they give you a variety, and they're, raising your heartbeat, and they're doing all the scientific things, but sometimes I just want to jam to my own music, and, like, it was a mixture of, like, I want to know what love is, to, Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill, You Ought to Know, to All Across the Watchtower, Dave Matthews version, to Metallica, which I'm not even, I don't love Metallica, but I do love a couple of their songs. And I don't not love Metallica. I'm just not into heavy metal. But, oh my God. Oh, and then I forgot to freaking tell you one thing, which would have been in my week recap.
Okay.
We saw Arrested Development last Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And everyone knows these 3 songs, Mr. Wendell, Everyday People, and Tennessee. First of all, they're based out of Atlanta. And Jayne, Jeff already said it. He's already on the hunt. That we're going to see them. It was life-changing. They are beyond beautiful. They are beyond soulful. They are beyond powerful. Their words pack a punch, but it's done in such a, like, graceful way. Yeah. And the energy you get out of, like, the fact that there's just the music is beautiful, but, like, the dancers on the stage, oh my God, they were amazing. Amazing. And so, anyway, Arrested Development, if anyone gets an opportunity, I think it was the 10 years, 3 days, and 2 months and 3 days or something album, which came out in like 1992, which was my favorite album. And that had those 3 songs on there. But I feel like Everyday People, just the verse of the chorus of it could be my jam. Because I feel like that's it. That's all we are. We're just everyday people out there just, am everyday people. Like, how can you not feel good singing that? It's just such a good song.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was out of topic for this section of the podcast, but I forgot to tell you that about my week and recap, and that was something that was hella good. All right, Jayne. So, motivational quotes for the week.
You want to go first?
Sure. Okay. It is lyrics from a song, and I did get it off Peloton. Snow Patrol's Life on Earth. But again, kind of in aligned with the way that I've been thinking and trying to live my life. I'm going to sing this. Okay, here we go. It shouldn't need to be so fucking hard, 'cause this is life on Earth. This is life on Earth. Literally. It doesn't have to be this fucking hard. That's it, guys.
Agreed.
Let it go.
Agreed.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a good message.
It is. Yeah, I love that. Okay, well, mine comes from... Was that your microphone?
Yeah.
No.
I turned it off.
Mine comes from the incredibly wise words of Jimmy, owner of Jimmy John's. I saw this, last night when I was getting my sandwich. And I was like, ooh, I got to write that down. Because I didn't have I left my phone in the car, so I didn't have it. I couldn't take a picture of it. So I made Mom text it to me when I got back in the car. It says, not every day is sunny. Some days you're the pigeon. Some days you're the statue.
Like you're getting shit on or you're doing the shit in?
Right.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love it. Who knew Jimmy was so smart? Obviously, he's got a massive chain that's very successful and the best subs. I love their subs.
Yeah, and clearly he is here for the quotes. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Dude, that's so cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, wanted to ask you a question that I've been thinking about. I was wondering, do you remember when we did that that Dawn Power Wash? We accidentally did an infomercial because you got me hooked, and I was like, we need to post about this. People need to know.
Yes.
And still to
this day... Not only did we do an infomercial about it and post about it, we both had those eye moisturizers on our eyes underneath. Like maybe gold or teal, I can't remember. But I just remember every time it comes up on my Facebook, like memories, I crack up because we sure did. Yeah, we did.
Well,
we sold that shit. All right.
We sold that shit. And I was thinking, I love that. And I was wondering, maybe we have another insert into our podcast sections. Yeah. And we talk about a product we're using, because honestly, after listening to that podcast 101, one of the goals will be that we monetize. We're not doing that right now, but and not for me, like I just love doing this and I am so enjoying having this time with you.
Me too.
But I also wouldn't mind getting paid. How about you?
Hell yeah.
All right, so let's do it. So I was just thinking, here's the thing. What the lady Jenna taught us was that you don't have to, like, it is selling. You are selling because you're advertising, but you get to pick what you want to advertise.
Right.
Like, for example, if anyone is interested, these nourishing lip tints from freaking, is it Bath and Body? Yeah, Bath and Body.
Yeah.
Look at this color. This like, and honestly, they keep your lips so smooth.
Yeah.
We
both have Bath and Body because I use these.
Oh yeah, that's got the menthol in it, right? Or the mint.
Yeah. And it's shimmery lip tint, and I use it every day. I have like one in my car, one on my desk, one in my purse, one in my everywhere. I have one in my bathroom. Yeah.
Well, so I was thinking we should have a section where we talk about this stuff. And now I've got to put on the clear because it's shimmer and it gives the red some sparkle.
My thing is, when it comes to stuff like that, I don't mind sharing the wealth of stuff that I have tried and love, because there's so much crap out there that like, oh, try this and do this, and it's garbage. You get it and you're like, okay, great, now I'm gonna throw it away. But I actually really do love that, and I haven't tried the ones you're using, but I have like this in multiple colors, and I use them all the time. But
I'm sad.
The other thing was for my power. Yeah, that's pretty. For my
it's
power
fuchsia,
wash
and they stopped making it.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you should write to the company.
I
was just gonna say though, for my power wash lovers out there, because I do love that.
Do I need to go get a power wash so I can show them what we're talking about?
Sure, because I do love that.
Hang on. Also, check out these jeans because I got them at 50% off at Old Navy, and I am feeling so hip hop 90s. It's not even funny.
Okay. Oh, they are cute, John. We'll just sit here awkwardly. No
Also,
worries.
while I'm up,
Yeah.
can I just bring this into view?
Oh, beautiful.
So freaking excited. Do you see my new Taylor Swift pins?
Yeah.
I got folklore, Jeff's Canadian. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be
I
so much
love
fun
it.
to wear.
I love it.
Okay. This is what we're talking about.
How dare you have an empty one?
Well, at least we use it all the way to the bottom.
I mean, yeah, so do I.
I do not love wasting. I wish we could take this somewhere and they refill them instead
So
of having
here's what I would tell you. And
Yeah,
this is what I was trying to get to, which is I buy them at Sam's Club and they give you one spray bottle and then they give you 2 refills and it's like $9.99 or $10.99 for 3.
Yeah.
And then I recycle them each time.
Yeah.
So it's still, you're not having to recycle the whole spray lid though. It's just a regular lid that you untwist and you put your spray lid in the new one every time. Cause I use a ton of those and I also keep Mom well stocked in her apartment. That's like the best deal I found for them. And I agree. I wish that there was a way that you could buy like a huge jug of it and just refill that way. So that way you won't have to keep getting the little bottles. But I do appreciate that you don't have the huge spray lid that has to, because I don't know how much that stuff gets recycled.
Yeah, even though I agree. But one thing I wanted to say for my household, like I use this to clean the bathrooms, toilets, sinks, showers. As soon as we have dishes, I like to rinse my dishes before I put them in the dishwasher. Thank you, Grandma. She taught us that, and it really does make a difference. But so I just give it a quick little spray, little rinse off, and then I put it in the dishwasher.
Yeah.
But
you know what else? Laundry. If you get like an oil stain or something on clothes,
I do that too. 100%. It really does take out stains in your clothes. Yep. Like if I
clean carpet with it. Like when it's gotten something on the carpet or something on like the couch, I'll clean that with it. Like it really does do everything. It's pretty amazing stuff.
It is amazing and it smells really good. I like just the plain, but there is a lemon, there is an orange. I don't know.
Yeah, I just do the.
Yeah, but so anyway, I think we should add a section. Yeah, and do this every week. So I'll add a new section to our outline because we do put a quick outline together before we do this. And then we can both bring something to the table.
Could you imagine if we didn't have an outline, our 55 minutes would turn into 355 minutes?
Exactly.
About everything. Ooh, look, a bird.
Jeff keeps telling me, he's like, Jenny, I think you guys should cut it down to 30 minutes. And I'm like, honey, here's the thing. Wow. You're not my people then, because you don't want to listen to our podcast through the full. There's no way in hell we can get it at 30 minutes. That ain't freaking happening. And so
we have to cut out a lot.
No, we couldn't do that because then we're not having a real conversation either. And I would rather it stay real. Yeah. So, but I do appreciate his feedback, and he's given us some great tips. So, Jeffrey.
Yeah, for sure. What were you going to say? And I appreciate it too. That piece of feedback I disagree with, but I still appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, hey, we're not going to agree with all feedback, but we do listen. Possibly if we want to hit a demographic of like men in their mid to late 40s that watch football every Sunday and are on 18 fantasy teams, then we'll take Jeff's advice.
Right. And P.S., I'm sure we have
not necessarily our demographic.
Wait, what are we up to on Spotify?
For stats?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Let me pull it up. My dogs are barking.
Because Jeff's probably home.
Yeah. Oh, you're probably right. Okay, let's see. Ooh, we've Spotify impressions in the last 30 days. We've had 1,062.
Woo woo.
I know. Yeah. And 78 plays all time. Plays per episode 20 on average. Spotify followers 24. That was in the teens last week. Right. Audience size 16, but I feel like that doesn't make sense if we have 24 followers, but I don't fully understand that. Yeah. So I think that's great. It's slowly but surely picking up.
Yeah. 1,000 impressions. I feel like that's great.
Yeah, and honestly, most of our videos from Insights on Facebook have reached at least 1,000 views, and then almost between 250 and 500 replays, which means people watch it and then watch it again. So now I might be 20 of the replays, but whatever. I do like to critique these, and I like looking at it to see, I also like to watch myself on video.
Okay. I do feel like, though, in order to improve, you do have to get past the cringe of watching yourself so that you can be like, okay, I did not like that, so we're gonna not do that then.
Yeah.
Like
I do think we're cute as buttons, though. I mean, I don't know how we kept these great looks all the way into our.
You know what? In our yes, Jenny, we are. You know what's funny? Somebody needs to promote her, obviously. But she's low on the self-esteem spectrum. But I was gonna say, on the podcast thing we went to the other night when she was saying, you should hear me in the beginning and how many times I say like, now I count. And I'm like, I say like
it happens. Yeah. But so I don't feel like it's, I've heard speakers before where they're like, and listen, no judgment. People, it's talk hard. The way you talk.
It's hard.
I'm sure I got something in there like that. I feel like for me, it's like using the wrong words or mixing up my verses. Like when I'm trying to lay a one-liner and it's not because it's not like, what the fork did I say to you the other day where I really thought I nailed it and it was the honey and the bees. You get more.
Oh, yeah. You catch more flies with honey. I don't know what the hell you said. Something not even close to that.
Not that, yeah. But that's typical. And so that's just a JennyB thing.
Yeah.
All right, Jayne, say that again.
I said we can look back and laugh at ourselves.
Yeah, we can. I love doing that. I love hearing JennyB stories. Like when you tell stories about me, I think they're hilarious.
I know you do. And they usually are. But
I'm sorry. Am I supposed to hear stories about
themselves? Yeah.
All right.
I feel like we're a hoot, so there it is.
We're a freaking hoot. And just want you to know, Jeff made us a lasagna for today out of palmini noodles. So it's a artichoke noodle-based lasagna, and it smells so good that I'm going to have to log off and go have a bite.
I'm going to go pick up some rotisserie chickens, and I found a recipe online because it's like soup weather. It's cold out. Yeah. So I'm going to make a rotisserie chicken and mushroom soup that's like a broth base, not like a cream base.
Nice.
Not really like cream soup. Yeah, so I'm going to make that today after this.
Awesome.
I'm going to the store. But anyhow, well, I had a great time, and we will see you next time.
Okay, well, love you long time. Love you so much it hurts. And I hope you have a great week, even though we're going to talk tomorrow.
Right, love you too.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.